Hi everyone, I am Natalie Setareh. I am a makeup artist turned makeup educator and author of the book Be Your Own Makeup Artist.
And I am Tammy Parrish, an image consultant who works with ambitious professionals to help them look and feel even better in less time.
Tammy and I decided that it would be a really fun way to sprucing up our drab and athleisure routine with some fun spring makeup and fashion trends that we can probably all use right now to just make ourselves feel a little bit better and a little bit more put together and a little bit more confident for the random errands and video conferencing calls that we have.
All right, I'm excited. Let's go. Let's talk about minimalist makeup. And I wanted to pair that, your suggestion of minimalist makeup. I think we should pair that with talking about florals, wearing florals for this season, because there's a certain type of floral that's very popular for spring 2020. Do you want to start with a minimalist face?
Mm-hmm. Makeup trend is one that I'm super excited about because it really focuses on appreciating and bringing out your natural beauty. And it's such a stark contrast from this contouring and baking and like winged liner that we've been seeing for the last, I feel like, way too long. So the no makeup, the one thing I do have to say is that it is still makeup, maybe even a little bit doesn't mean you're not wearing makeup at all. The makeup that you're wearing is very intentionally placed to bring out the features of your love. And then it starts with really, really good skin prep. And I can just show you a few products. And this is a line that I love to talk about. It's an indie line. It's great for all skin types. I keep it in my pro kit. And it's from Sonia Rosselli. It's all made in Japan. And it's called, it's Sonia Rosselli Beauty, and she has a water balm. She has a water, she has a few, she doesn't have a really big line, but these are the 3 hero products that I use the most. She has a water elixir and she has a water oil. And the combination of using these you put on your makeup is magic. And the whole no makeup, it becomes magic when you mix in a little bit of your makeup with these products. So one of the things that I always do when I have a bride or a client who wants no makeup is I'll take something like the water balm. It's a very light water-based cream. And I will take, oh, this one's brand new. I must have grabbed it, but it's a water-based cream. And what I do is I mix it with like a liquid highlighter. And I like to put those on the areas of my face that I want to highlight. So for me, I like to highlight my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, under my brow arch, and my cupid's bow. But for some people that they might already have very, very high brow, they might not want to do that. So they might want to think, oh, I want to bring out my eyelids.
What's a cupid's bow?
The cupid's bow is the cute little V right above you have a really good cupid's bow, the right above your upper lip.
It's like like a slime. Right.
So like if you follow the little thing, and then you know how your lip makes that pretty.
The top of your lip.
Exactly.
Okay, that's called a cupid's bow. Okay.
And so I don't really have one like you. Yours is very visible. And so you might think, okay, it's very beautiful, so I would capitalize on it. But some people are self-conscious of it.
Right.
And so if you want to highlight that, then you would take some highlighter and make sure to put it kind of along that area and so you want people to notice. That's like very sexy. But some people, again, right? So the areas that you're most confident about, I like to use highlighter on. And then I will take something like the water elixir, even after I've prepped my face, but I'll take this and mix it in with my foundation to really make it nice and sheer. And then I'll put on my makeup, right, with something to sheer it out to give a nice, healthy glow. And
so what's this water bomb doing? You're mixing that with the highlighter.
You can mix it with the highlighter. You could put the highlighter on under.
But what's it doing, the water bomb? It sounds violent.
It's so, well, it's, so like if you're using a liquid highlighter, this is one of them. I have many, but if you're mixing it, it's a liquid. And so when you put it on just as itself, it's pretty intense. But when you take like a nice cream, like the water bomb, water elixir, it shears it out almost into nothing so that all you're doing is that really pretty tint.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it over here.
Yeah, so the water bomb is a like a moisturizer?
It is.
Okay.
It's a water-based moisturizer.
Okay.
Right. So you don't use a lot. You need to let it work and soak into your face. And so that's another thing with the no makeup is your skincare. You need to let it work. You need to put it on your face. You need to let it sit there for a second and do what it's supposed to do. I think that's a step that a lot of people rush. They're just like, oh, let me just put on my makeup, or let my makeup be my skincare, and makeup and skincare are two totally, sometimes makeup has really great skincare benefits, but it's not skincare. But I think, and you have to know your skin type. You have to make sure that the products that you're using are both formulated for your skin type. Oil and water don't always mix. So if you have oily skin, you'd probably want to make sure you're using products that are oil-free, at least makeup products that are. And if you have dry skin, you could probably get away with more silicone-based products or oil-based products. And so you can, but mixing and sharing, and then creams, that's the second. So first is good skincare, skin prep, kind of mixing in the coverage that you want with your makeup, getting it to that level, and then using cream blushes and cream bronzers and really working it into almost nothing, but you still have that nice coloring, lip oils, lip tints, those types of things. That's your no makeup look. Again, it's makeup. It still takes some work, but
yeah, really, it doesn't sound like any less work.
It's not less work. It's just doing it differently. With, just thinking about your products differently. You probably already have all of the products. You don't need to go buy more makeup from no makeup. But you just have to approach it a little differently, I feel like.
I think that's something you do really well, because when I took your class on tools, I thought, I don't know, I have no idea. So I thought, oh, I'm going to have to go buy all these tools. And you said, well, actually, no. So.
Well, it's kind of like you took the scarf and you showed us how to use a scarf as a belt. There's so many there's so many things that we have that we don't really realize can be used for so many things, The most I've used a scarf for is like to tie my hair up or something, for like a Halloween costume. I don't really think about scarves in any other way, but I'm sure you have a million different ways to use a scarf.
Well, now that you said that, I'm gonna I thought earlier today, because I still have not been able to get an appointment with a hairdresser, so it's getting pretty desperate. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna make a joke like I always like to do, and I'm gonna come onto the call. I'm gonna come onto the call like this. I decided not to, obviously, but so like this is very 1950s, 1960s. I don't want to make a big mess here with the microphone, but
I would not look cute like that. You look super cute.
But who's going to wear this? Can you hear me? Wait,
yeah,
1 second.
I can hear you, like you can pull it off.
I mean, really, with this wild of a print, and so you can think, oh, I want to be
You're in a convertible.
So, okay, so I'm not going to do this because I look like Little Red Riding Hood. So you can also, I mean, again, this is a little too, I mean, not that I've never worn this, but it also, then you get, it's very conservative, right? I look like I'm going to a meeting. Okay, but you can also turn it around, and then maybe it's still too frumpy, but you know, it has a totally different look. And then what would I do with this? I just tuck it in my shirt, the ends, so it's not, you know.
I think that's so cute.
So yeah, so I mean, I've never worn, I think it looks cool. My mom, you know, wore it in the 60s, but I'm not gonna, over her beehive, but I'm not gonna
I
do
saw that. That was epic. I loved it.
But this, so on the subject, I want to make the sound better.
On the subject of if you're wearing minimalist makeup, I think, of course, you can go Calvin Klein and wear minimalist clothing, and that's always your look. But I think I would be more prone to pair a very colorful and busy clothing look with a more minimalist makeup look. And the florals that are in fashion this year are, I think, to the 60s and 70s. So the keyword is psychedelic, which I
Really?
can't say without laughing. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen here and show you a couple of examples because actually, should have thought of this. I do have two, again, from my mom in the 60s. They called them hostess gowns. I don't know if when you'd have a party at your house and you'd show up in this kind of like a muumuu caftan sort of thing with no sleeves and these big florals. But that's not psychedelic. Let me show you some. We'll go trenches, and then we're going to go to, yeah, here we go. So 60s and 70s psychedelic florals. And yeah, colors can be more subdued like some of these or bolder. So let me just zoom in here. We've got a very 70s, and also the midi and the maxi dresses are still in. But then you've got, this is definitely a more modern take right here in the middle. You've got
I love it right there.
Yeah, so that's still, again, that's going back more 60s. But then this one on the right reminds me of almost like a Mary Mecco. Mm-hmm. But 70s colors and more of a 60s print. And then this is, of course, a modern take. Like, well, how would you, okay, if you don't want to go retro, then this is a modern way to pair it with some sandals and a little bag. And
I'm not sure about her shorts though. I like her fit and then her shoes, but
I don't know what's happening in the middle anyway. I think they're about 3 sizes too big, basically. They're huge.
I feel like oversized clothes has been a trend. Am I wrong?
It has, and luckily it's going away, I have to say, because the truth is oversized is great if you are teeny tiny. Right. And I should do that. That's more professional. Let's just go over here and have a look at these guys.
Like that lady over there on the far left. Or
right. So yeah. I mean, first of all, this is very extreme. So over an exaggerated shoulder and also quite a short skirt. And then, it looks like this is like the granny look that's in fashion, right? She has these slingback shoes on with these little, what, our grandmothers wouldn't be caught dead in being exposed. These little anklet knee-high things, but in almost a skin color. But yeah, the thing about, I'll just show that one more time and then I'll get off of the screen share. But the oversized is fine if you're very thin. That's the number one criteria. And you should also preferably be very tall. Because what happens is, and I think that's a common misconception, women think, and I'm guilty of this sometimes too, if I'm a little bit heavier at some point, I think, oh, I want to hide myself, right? You have this feeling that you're not confident. And so you tend to hide your body. But actually, when you wear these huge items or a lot of fabric, you're actually making yourself look bigger. So it's working against what your goal is.
You know, you had in one of your guides, I can't remember if it was your spring one or if it's your Amazing 5 resources one. I can't remember which one it was, but I had read that the sweater length, or wherever the sweater drops off, it needs to be on a smaller part. If it drops off too, oh my gosh. Like, I realized that for the last, pretty much since my kids were born, I have been guilty of that. And I have noticed in pictures that I look really large. And I was thinking, I know I'm not that large.
Right.
And everything that you were saying in your guide, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get rid of like years worth of sweaters that I bought to disguise that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that advice. Yeah. Now I just need to like get enough confidence to buy something a little bit more form-fitting.
Well, that's the thing. It just needs to be a little bit more form-fitting, because you have the opposite effect also. You have someone who wants to be thinner than they are, so they wear very tight clothing thinking, well, I feel very safe or supported in this. And also it's sort of this ideal of the size you want to be. But if you're, if the rolls are showing and your undergarments are showing and things are, popping out, I mean, it actually makes you, again, look bigger than you are.
Yeah.
So having something that's tailored and that conforms to your body, that shows some shape, but not every detail.
Yeah, that was golden advice.
And then the color, also lighter colors, as you know, for makeup, lighter colors make an area look larger. So this is the main reason most women wear black or dark colors, because they think, oh, I look small. And all blacks match. Therefore, it's so easy. I just buy only black clothes and I look small and everything matches. But I won't get into that rant about black.
That's another conversation.
That's another.
I could talk about black eyeshadow for hours, and mascara and eyeliner. It's black is such a powerful color when you know how to use it and exactly. I feel like we should do a class on that.
Yes,
on
good. Black.
That's good.
Black, and where it belongs and where it doesn't.
Exactly.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the tips, and we hope you'll follow us on social media at the links listed.